You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, I got to be real here. I think Raiders Nation is obviously pulling very hard for Antonio Pierce to get the job with the Las Vegas Raiders. But I have seen a lot of fans, and I can understand this absolutely, that are also pulling for Jim Harbaugh or the guy we're going to talk about here that hasn't emerged as a potential candidate, it looks like, for the Las Vegas Raiders job. And if I'm Mark Davis, I absolutely understand why you're looking at this guy. I'm shocked he has not had a run as an NFL head coach as of yet. He's always been one of my favorite college coaches, and probably because I'm such a big Jim Harbaugh guy, he's got that direct relation from coming under the Harbaugh tree. All right? So we're going to talk about him and Aidan O'Connell's progression as a quarterback. We'll take a look at that. But a very surprising name emerging. And guys, I'm going to tell you, he's got Raiders ties. He's got Jim Harbaugh ties. And for him to have had, much like Harbaugh, the amount of success at a college program like Stanford with those academic constrictions, you know one thing, David Shaw can coach, folks. He's absolutely a valid candidate, and he wants to coach in the NFL. And if I'm a team, I can understand why you're taking a look at David Shaw. Extremely smart. Extremely hardcore. I mean, this guy right here has got NFL pedigree. He's got real success. Guys, look at this. This is Stanford. Stanford. 11 wins, 12 wins, 11 wins, 8 wins, 12 wins, 10 wins, 9-9. The last 4 years, he fell off, yes. But, guys, he won a Rose Bowl. Then he won another Rose Bowl. Sun Bowl, 2 Rose Bowl wins. David Shaw was over 30 games over 500 at Stanford. Folks, do you have any idea how hard it is to win at some program like Stanford? I mean, look, Jim Harbaugh, that's when people realized Jim Harbaugh is a hell of a coach. When he had the success he had at Stanford, it made you realize right there, hey, this guy can actually truly coach football, all right? And much like Harbaugh, Shaw's got the NFL pedigree to back him up to come back to the league. All right, this is an interesting name. Las Vegas Raiders may look towards ex-Stanford head coach David Shaw to fill their coaching vacancy. Vincent Bond Sr. of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I hope I said his name right, he's the one that posted the news. Hearing a name to keep an eye on when at Raiders go through their head coaching search process, former Stanford head coach and former Raiders assistant coach David Shaw. Wow. 96-54 as Cardinals coach from 2011 to 2022, winning the Pac-12 3 times. Went to the Rose Bowl 3 times, won it twice. The Cardinal also registered 3 top 7 finishes in the AP poll, including 3rd in 2015. I mean, that's insane at Stanford. It truly is. Shaw has a wealth of experience in the collegiate and NFL coaching ranks, beginning with 2 seasons as a Western Washington assistant in 1995 and 96. He then coached in the NFL from 97 through 2005, so a lot of NFL time. Eagles, Raiders, Ravens. This is what I like. You've got a young quarterback, Aidan O'Connell, notably serving as both the quarterbacks and wide receivers coach from 2002 to 2004. And then you've got the tutelage under Harbaugh. Shaw then coached under Jim Harbaugh in 2006 at San Diego before moving on with him to Stanford in 2007. He was Stanford's offensive coordinator 2007-2010 and got promotion to head coach when Harbaugh went to the Niners. You know what quarterback he developed there? Andrew Luck. Yeah, Andrew Luck. By the way, the Broncos took a hard look at David Shaw last year before they decided to hire Sean Payton. And I get it, Sean Payton. I mean, I would have probably taken Payton too. But I've said for a very long time, when Harbaugh left the 49ers, David Shaw was the guy I was crossing my fingers would get that job after Harbaugh left. And, of course, they didn't hire him. And, Chip Kelly, Mike, Jim Tomsula. Did I say Mike? Oh, might as well been Bob Tomsula. He was terrible. It was a disaster. Both of those hires a disaster before they got back around to Kyle Shanahan. But I like it. I like it a lot. I know a lot of you guys are pulling for Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce may be the guy. He may be the guy. But let's be real. He doesn't have nearly the coaching chops under his belt that David Shaw does. He doesn't have nearly the pelts on the wall and that unusual pedigree of so much NFL experience combined with so much college experience and so much success at a program that just doesn't, just doesn't have that kind of success. Him and Harbaugh built Stanford into a Pac-12 powerhouse. Let's be honest. Okay, so let's look at Aidan O'Connell because he is improving, guys. He is. There's not a ton of stats here under PFF. Just under 1,200 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks, okay? So he's thrown some interceptions. But last week, he looked a lot better against the Chiefs. He didn't have a bad game by any means. This is Raiders.com, actually. Statistically speaking, it was actually O'Connell's best game as a Raider to date. He completed nearly 70% of his passes for 248 and a career high of 101.6 passer rating. He was striking with his receivers early and often. 7 different receivers, I like that, recorded a catch along with an 18-yard TD throw to Jacoby Myers. I was happy to see Myers get some love again because, I said don't lose sight of the weapon known as Jacoby Myers just because Josh McDaniels is gone. Of course, they lost 31-17. Man, got to figure out how to at least score up in the 20s. Quote, we got to do a better job sustaining, do a better job in the second half executing. The quarterback said post-game, when they have long drives, we got to do a good job of keeping our offense off the field, sustaining drives, getting ahead of the sticks, staying ahead of the sticks. It's a combination of a lot of things. You have to be able to run the ball, pass the ball, execute. I think like we continue to talk about, there's a level of sustaining that we have to get better at, that we have to implement in practice and try to do a good job of continuing to focus. So, look, he goes on to praise the offensive line, etc. Did a good job, all right? Did a good job. It was his second game this season where he did not turn the ball over. The kid is flashing, all right? The kid is flashing. He's a rookie, hasn't been starting that long, didn't go through the offseason and the training camps and the preseason as the starter. That's a lot of reps to not get, all right? A lot of reps. I don't know if people realize the backup quarterbacks, exactly how that repetition set is distributed. It's shocking. All right, you're talking about a situation a lot of times where the starter might get 20 reps, the backup might get 8, and then the third guy might get 2 or 3, 4 if he's lucky, right? The backup might get 10 if he's lucky. The starter might get 25. I think fans believe that their quarterbacks are getting 50 reps a week. No, that's not happening, actually. You know, which is shocking. That was surprising to me before I started covering the sport, but and digging into it. But it is a surprise. It truly is. How few reps these quarterbacks actually get to be able to develop, which I'm going to keep it real here. How many quarterbacks have been on NFL rosters that could probably actually play if they would have gotten entire mini camps, training camps, and would have gotten, a substantial amount of rep, not 3 reps, but 25 reps a week, How many teams maybe had a Brock Purdy on their team and just didn't know it and is now gone out of the league, whatever, Sometimes I think that these NFL draft rooms and these general managers and these organizations, I think sometimes they cannibalize their own quarterbacks. Oh, well, we had this guy on our roster for 2 years. I mean, he was only getting 3 reps a week, but bleep it. We don't think he can play. Release him. Let's draft another guy in the 4th round to turn around and not give any reps to find out whether he can play. That's a thing, folks, in the NFL. So I'm sure many of you are going to be like, I don't want David Shaw, I want Antonio Pierce. I get it, but there's a lot of season left. You got to find out what you got in this rookie quarterback. Antonio Pierce, I have a feeling, is going to get this job. But, guys, if you ended up with Jim Harbaugh or David Shaw, that's a hell of a coaching hire, I think. David Shaw absolutely deserves a shot with somebody. If he doesn't get this Raiders job, I would at least like somebody to hire. Like if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm calling David Shaw to be my offensive coordinator. Get him in there as the offensive coordinator, and then in 2 years, they're going to have enough success, David Shaw will get a head coaching job. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.